Right then guys, here I am for my second video taking an early look at the new Grid game. Earlier on I uploaded a video of the final Fernando Alonso event, a showdown against him in his Renault R26 Formula 1 car. So that video is already on the channel, you can go watch it if you want, but this is a more touring car themed video. Now we're starting off with the classic touring cars, only 4 but a great lineup, an Alfa Romeo 155, BMW M3, a Ford Sierra and a Volvo 850 Estate. An iconic touring car, so of course I raced around in that. Now the race is around the Sydney Motorsport Park, a track which I have no prior knowledge of, so this was a completely blind race for me, having never driven this car on this game before, having barely played this game before, and having never driven around this track before. But to me, this is where Grid shines. Touring cars, more bumper-to-bumper contact, aggressive racing, because it's nice for the game to have open-wheel racing, Formula 1 cars, that's great, I love the variety, but to me, this is what Grid is all about. Touring cars, aggressive, bumper-to-bumper racing. That's where Grid shines, because it's not a simulator, it's not a clean racer, it's about having fun, dramatic, exciting racing. Now, fun, yes. Dramatic, less so. If you've played the previous Grid games, especially the first 2, I believe Autosport, well, Autosport, I played it again recently for about an hour or so, just to familiarise myself with the newest currently released Grid game, and the racing on this game was tame by comparison. Although I should also point out that the AI, as you can see next to the names of all the drivers, you've got a number. Now I believe that denotes their skill level, because if you saw my Formula 1 video, Fernando Alonso had a 99 next to his name, so maximum skill level. All of these drivers are very, very lowly rated. So that's the thing, is this game, or this race, sorry, was quite easy, but a boot lid coming off, I don't believe I've ever seen that in a Grid game before, a boot lid flying off, and there's the aggressive racing that Grid is known for. But the sad truth is that was probably the most aggressive move made by one of the AI drivers. You know, on previous Grid games you see cars flying around, having massive crashes, and yeah, sure, I only played this game for an hour, but you know, the racing wasn't as dramatic as dirty. A boot lid flew off, and that's the height of drama. Slipstream, yet again overpowered. If you saw my Formula 1 video, you will know that the slipstream is extremely overpowered. But yes, as I was saying, you know, the AI in this race are very lowly skilled. I was on hard difficulty, and this race was easy. No assists as well, but, you know, I think, yeah, sure, the AI was set to hard, but this, you know, these are lowly skilled drivers, so it's low end of hard, if that makes any sense. And hard on Grid Autosport was harder than hard on this, but also this was a preview build, so, you know, there's lots of things which can be changed or tweaked slightly. Of course, the game can't be overhauled in that time, but things like AI aggression, things such as damage, which we will see later on, because the damage was fairly inconsequential, as we'll see later on in this video. But again, this was a preview build, things can be tweaked. I know the damage was toned down for this preview build. It's also feasible that AI could have been toned down, the AI aggression. You know, that's the only thing this game lacked for me, because it was just the lack of aggression, the lack of excitement, the lack of mistakes and crashes from the other AI, which is what made Grid so fun and so iconic previously. And also, no AI or no teammate instructions. You can't actually tell your teammate to speed up or slow down like you could in Autosport, which is a slightly sad omission, but you know, the car variety, I don't really know about the track variety. Well, I know you've got street circuits, you've got proper racing circuits like we saw there, but this is another touring car category, the TC2 category, which is, I believe, the slowest modern day touring car category in the game. As you can see, I locked out with the random starting grid in 4th place, my teammate in 1st. Now, again, if this was Autosport, I would have told him to have, you know, backed up the grid. Well, actually, if I was starting further back, I would have told him to have backed up the grid, because I've got fond memories of Grid Autosport, you know, making a mistake or being way down the grid, having my teammate start further up, tell him to hold up the running order, that allows you to catch up and overtake the field really easily. That can't be done in this game, but hey, you know, it does mean your teammate is an actual rival. You can't just boss them around. And again, the AI, you know, as you can see, their skill level is very low. My teammate, worryingly, a skill level of 2. So I've got a fantastic teammate, but you know, there's not really much to show in this race either. If you want to see a decent touring cars race, the third and final video I'll be uploading from this early access event is a multiplayer race I did with the classic touring cars. That is an exciting touring car race, and that's just going to be straight gameplay. That'll be uploaded after this one. But, you know, this AI racing, you know, again on hard difficulty, and well, actually, when I started playing the game, I was on medium difficulty. I did a qualifying session, and I took pole position by about 6 seconds. So then I bailed out of that, started the event up again on hard, and again took the lead convincingly. You know, I don't really want to bash this game too much with difficulty because, you know, it's an early access, it's a preview build. But what concerns me more is the lack of aggression from the AI. Having said that, I have taken the lead. I don't actually keep it until the end of the race because, well, for a couple of reasons actually, but my teammate will actually re-overtake me. But I mean, look at this, you know, talking about the variety of tracks, you know, this, a San Francisco street circuit, so you've got the elevation, the bumps, closed barriers, you know, this, to me, is what grid is. You know, it's nice having the Sepang International Circuit, Silverstone, the Sydney Motorsport Park, it's nice having them, but it's also great to have, you know, street circuits. And that's why I think Grid excels. It's not the realism, it's the drama, and it's the variety. You know, it appeals to motorsport and car enthusiasts, and also someone who wants to get their elbows out and not worry about having completely clean racing. My teammate re-overtaking me, so it wasn't as easy as I said it was, this race, but again, I did actually... No, I didn't overtake him here, because I did actually go too late on the brakes, and he did go down my inside. So, there you go. I think I'm going to pass him fairly soon, and then I took the lead and didn't win the race, deliberately actually, as we'll see later on, because I talked about the damage earlier on. We saw a boot lid fly off, which is nice cosmetic detail, but, well, the actual consequences of the damage are minimal. I think I was messing about with the handbrake in those corners actually. Certainly looked like it. But anyway, yes, so we're going to see a crash, a deliberate crash, just to spice up the race and also to test out the crash physics. Now, the damage settings in the game were visual only and full. This was on full, but you could have fooled me. Now, I did actually speak to the community manager. He did say that the damage had been toned down specifically for this event, but on Grid Autosport, and I believe the other Grid games, but I played Grid Autosport recently, on Grid Autosport you could have a crash much less severe than that one, and you could have bent steering or punctures. You know, you would actually have to drive differently because your car would be damaged, you know, slowed down, or just maybe inconvenienced with lopsided steering. But on this, massive crash, the car looked damaged, but drove exactly the same. And as I said, the damage was on full, not visual only, but as I said, the damage was toned down. I was told that by the community manager, so, you know, I mean, this is still an early access build. Anyway, if you want to see a replay of the first lap of that race, then here it is. I'm going to shut up so you can listen to the replay, and I do want to just say very quickly, love the camera angles. So, you know, the touring car races may not have been dramatic, but with the replay, they certainly make the races cinematic with these camera angles. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There'll be another touring cars video, a multiplayer one, coming up soon, and I'll see you guys then.